Hello. Max Clark here, Camp Director for YMCA Camp Unalaya. Hey, coming to you with another trail video. This time we are talking about a new itinerary for 2025, the Western Boundary Waters trip. And just a quick little history here. This trip was pioneered kind of last year, where we put together what we called the backcountry fishing trip, which was a 2-week fishing trip. And part of it was where our campers actually went into the area we're about to show you and did like a 4-day or a 4-night, 5-day canoeing trip. They absolutely loved it. They loved Ely, Minnesota. They liked that whole area. And so when we went back to the drawing board on putting together our trips for 2025, putting it together a 2-week Boundary Waters trip on the western side was definitely something we wanted to do. So talking just a little bit about it, the estimated waterway time or waterway distance is 50 to 60 miles. They're going to look at 20 to 25 portages depending on the route. Again, this is a lot like the Nor'Wester, where they get to put in, and we have a tentative itinerary, but the group really gets a lot of freedom to decide how far, and there's so much flexibility in that. And I'll show you that here in a second with the route. This is a 10-night, 11 days on trail, with 7 to 8 nights in the backcountry and 2 nights car camping, doing some travel time there. So yeah, without further ado, let me kind of show you where we're looking at going. So on this map you can see Wisconsin outlined here. Here's Camp Unalaya, and it's a 7-hour drive to get up past Ely and up onto this side of the entrance into the Boundary Waters. And their first night, they're actually going to camp at a little campground here. So, 7 hours of driving, they can check out the town and get any last minute gear they need. They're going to check in and get their permits, and then just get ready to put in the next day. I'm going to switch maps once again. We're going to jump into Onyx. Again, a great software. This is kind of how I plan all the trips here at Camp Unalaya. And the red, outlining right here, that's actually the Nor'Wester route. So you can see why we call this the Western Boundary Waters, right? We're on the western side of this. And our Nor'Wester, confusing language there, Nor'Wester being a route similar to what you see right there. So we're actually going to go over here to the yellow. Our first night camping is at a campground on Fall Lake, and really cool town, Ely. The kids are going to absolutely love doing a little visit there. So after their first night camping, they are going to travel over here to Snowbank, and this is their put-in location at Snowbank Lake. I will zoom in just a bit more. I'm not going to go too into depth into each little lake that they're going to hop, skip, and jump across here, but wanted to just basically give you that layout of that 7 to 8 night trip. Now, why do I say 7 to 8 nights? Well, we started factoring in a buffer day. Sometimes we get into some weather situations where we need to only travel half as much for a day, and sometimes we have perfect weather and we can do a lot more than what's on the original plan. So our first plan is a route very similar to this, and involves 7 days of backcountry canoe camping, basically hopping from lake to lake. Each one has individual sights to see and amazing natural features to visit. We're talking waterfalls and just these pristine lakes everywhere. And then you'll see 2 sections here where I've got some dotted lines, and those are highlighting some possible extensions to the trip. And like with the Nor'Wester, when we're in a 2-week paddling trip, every group is different. There are groups that love the mileage. They want to just crush it. They want to do 10, 12, 15 miles every day and get as many portages in, and the group loves that, and they thrive in that setting. And then there's groups that just want to, more of a relaxed camp feel and stuff. So we have some options here. If there's a group that really wants to tack on up to 20 miles more of canoeing, they have some options over here. Or if they want to do one section and then come back and skip this part, they can do that too. We really do leave it up to the trip staff who are in the moment. Now, we paint this as our tentative plan. The things that never change is the put in and put out day. Okay, What does change can be sometimes the direction or the different lakes. For example, if they're camping here and they want to take a look at Trident Lake and they go check that out and they love it and they want to cut this in, we really do give them the freedom as a group to make those decisions. And the beauty of how we run trips here is that even though we're in a backcountry situation, I can maintain constant contact with our staff and our kids, and I basically have a GPS track on everything and everywhere that they're going and communicate at any time. So that, as a parent myself, that gives me the assurance for them to know that yes, they can change from the itinerary here. We have a base plan. They can do what's best for the group, and the part that I'm comfortable with is no matter what, I'm going to know what those changes are, and I'm going to know where those kids are at all times. So, super cool trip. This is really geared to the early June timeline there, which is where we had put that backcountry fishing trip. So again, this is great for someone if there is a person in your family that loves fishing. This would be a great trip. It's not limited to that though, and it's just going to provide a lot of diversity to our extended backcountry canoe trips. So yeah, hey, I encourage any other questions, please come shoot them my way. Love to talk to you about this new trip and help your camper get signed up. All right, folks, take care.